Welcome to the Big Biz Show.
Taking care of business.
You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we welcome you to another incredible episode of the Big Biz Show. And as we like to say around these here parts,
no, we don't.
Big old howdy do.
Okay, that's gotta stop.
Say it every day. It's on T-shirts, billboards, it's on bumper stickers. I'm Costa. Excuse me, sir. I'm introducing the show.
All right, for once,
that's Mary Bird Godwin. And then, of course, here's the guy who steers the ship, Sully. How are you, buddy?
From San Diego, born and raised just like you.
Yeah.
And no one has ever said,
howdy.
A big old howdy to you.
Oh, you got to get out then, man, because it's everywhere.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
It's like a bad herpes virus. It's just spreading.
Gen Zers are saying.
We got bad news. Chipotle drops like tummy tuck on a plus size model.
I don't know how this is possible because
your
my
poodle?
family alone keeps them going.
Chipotle?
Yeah, Chipotle.
Do you remember the ad? Do you remember the Jack in the Box ad?
Chipotle.
Now, speaking of San Diego.
Yes.
Food Maker Restaurants started a company called Jack in the Box.
San Diego State
which
grads.
started a company called Hardee's for across the rest of the country.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hardee's and Jack in the Box, the same thing. Same company. Jack Goodall was the CEO of that company. So I know, you know sports figures. You know Sandy Koufax and I know CEOs of companies that don't exist anymore.
Random.
We need,
facts.
what? They need to bring back the clown. Like talk to the clown head.
The clown
when
head.
you're going through the drive.
And give you balloons.
And give you balloons. Son of a gun.
This time there won't be balloons, Mike.
No.
We're at a different time. Because typically you're eating Jack in the Box at 2 in the morning and you're after making bad decisions, so maybe instead of balloons.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We can use this for nitrous.
Speaking of young people making bad decisions on the weekend, here's Howie Font, our lead analyst from New York City.
Does he ever make bad decisions?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Howie.
Except for when he crashed the car.
The good news about Howie is, as intelligent, articulate, and reasonable as he is, I have had conversations with him later at the end of the night on a Friday thinking, because remember, he's East Coast. I'm calling at 5 in the afternoon. Where are you at?
I want to see this, Howie.
It's never that bad. No, but you know when Howie doesn't answer, that's why. If he doesn't answer. Sell. Good to see you, man. Boy, I'll tell you, 2 times in a row we see this Fed eking down interest rates. It's finally here after we shut off the economy like a light switch. It's now coming back on like a sunrise, and this is a big part of it, right? This is at long last, and I think this marks the end. You can't ever tell you're in a recession until you look back and see when the recession was really. But this kind of maybe ends the inflationary period officially if they do one more rate cut, right? Isn't that sort of the way that works?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to, right? If you're gonna say that it's okay to lower the interest rates, then you're saying that we're worried more about the economy than we are about inflation, because that's why they rose them in the first place.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is that you've the first rate cut in a while in September was a 25 basis point cut. They had one dissension. It was the new voting member that the Trump administration just appointed. He dissented, wanted to do more of a rate cut. He did the same thing this time, but unusually, there was another person who said, no, let's not do any rate cut at all. So we had this like balancing act. We had one guy for double, one guy for none, and we got one cut.
So basis points are not percentage points, by the way, number one.
Right.
So it is 25 basis points is 25th of a percent or something like that. I don't think it's 1/4%. I think it's just slightly under actually. But long story short, this affects the short interest rate bond, but it doesn't affect long bonds. But yet mortgage rates are thought to be going down, and now you see the mortgage business coming back. And there's a lag between Fed cut and mortgage. But I got to tell you, Howie, this is probably the best news. And even though it's been baked into the stock market, I think people need to really look what's going to happen, because this opens up a really good door for us for the next end of fourth quarter and then beginning of first quarter next year.
Yeah, it's really good for the market, right? I mean, so the market's not the economy is not the market, but if you have cheaper money, then you're in the short term, you're allowed to do things as a business that you weren't able to do if it was really hard to borrow, and we're going to see that in stocks.
Stay right there, because speaking of fast food, we want to talk about fast food. You come back for the break because the unthinkable has happened.
Oh my God. More.
Chipotle drops. We have to deal with that.
Terrible.
Loft 100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks if we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyandgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
Biz Show. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we roll on. We're in Southern California inside the beautiful Loft 100 studio. Speaking of beautiful, those three beautiful guys there is a day trader trio.
Gorgeous.
No less than self-taught, best in the world. Back here at the bar, it is Costa, it's Mary Godwin, and it is Sully.
I think you're right. On the break there, Mike corrected me that Hardee's was Carl's Jr., Carl Karcher. However, Jack in the Box was called E. coli land in 1993.
I called it Jack in the Crack.
Everyone called it Jack in the Crack.
Horse Meat Town in 1995.
Soy tacos.
I can tell you this: 700 people. In 700 people in 700 states. 700 people in 28 states got sick from the 1993 E. coli. I thought E. coli only grew in meat. Get it? Get it?
Well played, sir. Well played.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no meat.
No burger in hamburger at those places.
Got it.
None whatsoever.
Wait, J-Mo, since you are so diligent about your diet, although, you know, he's the guy that eats perfectly yet brings in jelly donuts for the crowd.
Every single week.
When is the last time you ate fast food? Like seriously, like it's been 20 years ago, 10 years ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah. When's the last time about you?
Miles.
Look at Miles. Miles, it's been a while. When is the last time you, Mike? Oh, sorry. What time is it? Hold on a second.
Does breakfast sitting count?
Howie's here to talk about Chipotle stock dropping 15.5% after earnings. Now look at this is the reason this is good because the stock market runs on two emotions: fear and greed.
Yep.
Okay. As Rusty Nails used to say, beer and weed. But it was fear and greed that runs the stock market. But in this case, it is actual fundamentals that cause this thing to go down. Meaning that the fundamentals of a company are how much are you earning. So you got top line revenue, you got expenses. What's left is earnings. Now back in the day when you used to cut jobs. Now, when you see people cut jobs, now the stock market goes down. In the past, when a company cut jobs, the stock went up because the earnings went up.
Yep.
But if you think about that, with so many people, look at I don't eat at Chipotle only because it's not convenient for me personally. And number two, I'm seeing so many ads now. I thought they're ripping. And according to Mary, her family is keeping it in business.
My kids love it, but it's getting more expensive.
What happened? 15.5% drop is a huge drop.
Yeah, so it used to be when there were only 500 Chipotles or so, maybe 10, 15 years ago, that Chipotle was just growing at such a clip. The consumer has a lot of cash, has a little cash. It didn't matter. Chipotle was new. They're opening up a store a week.
Yeah.
They're all over the country. The stock's going to do great. Now there's several thousand Chipotles, and it matters what's happening to Joe Blow on the street, and does he have enough money in his pocket to go buy Chipotle, or does he have to go to the grocery store? And
let me ask him: is Chipotle considered? Okay, so let's do the hierarchy of fast food places. Tommy Burger LA is on top.
Oh.
Okay, right. But seriously, if you go through the hierarchy of what I would expect to be a high class joint, In-N-Out's got to be up on top there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Carl's Jr.'s got to be right up there. McDonald's.
Wait. What are we ranking with?
In terms of price and in terms of sort
but
of.
not health. I mean,
No, not.
Okay.
Throw the healthy out of the way.
Okay.
What you normally
health doesn't answer.
I know. This will be an idea. Let's
health just left.
Well, that's why we go to Chipotle because we think.
Well, but that's my point, though. Is this in that category on a scale of pizza to In-N-Out?
Okay.
Are they somewhere in that scale somewhere? Are they higher quality, higher price?
Well, we think it's higher quality, but it is getting higher price.
Super
it's pricier.
expensive.
So now my daughter and I will split a bowl instead of getting two, because you can pile on the.
Is that because you need to, or because you don't have the dough?
Well,
Bill actually.
No, seriously. Because look at that, not to be misogynistic, but females eat less. You guys always split.
Yeah, but
Mike and I
I
have
am
never
watching
split,
what I'm
even
spending.
a check.
I'm trying to send my daughter to college and another one on the way. So I'm like, yeah.
So you're splitting it. So you're eating less. Mary, I'm sorry. We need to talk after the show.
Well, I'm just
she's
trying
not
to
eating now.
I'm just trying to be conscious about
wait a
what
second,
we're spending when we're out because it costs so much money when I'm feeding my 3 daughters.
But truly, are you splitting it because it's so expensive, or because you end up not eating all the time, or is it a little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Okay, I'll take it because I was feeling bad for a minute. I'm no longer feeling bad.
No, we'll have a bake sale for her.
Howie, is there an opener indicator here? Just like this reminds me of the Cracker Barrel story that came out about a month and a half ago. They changed the logo.
Oh God!
And the thing almost died, and they fired the CEO. Now Cracker Barrel's back.
Yeah, booming.
Do they need to make some changes here, because they're doing a big ad spend? I mean, honestly, when you see NFL Sundays and you see Major League Baseball and there's Chipotle, right, Mike? Are you see more ads in the sports stuff?
Oh, 1,000%.
That means you're spending money on advertising, and if it's not working, they got to change something, right?
So what's happened is they've gotten so big that they've needed to increase their ad spend, which is what you're seeing, to try and keep growing at the same rate that they have been. Otherwise, they'd slow down naturally. That seems to not be working because of the macroeconomic condition of the consumer. Mary saying it costs too much. And what's interesting is this doesn't usually happen, but management specifically blamed the macroeconomy.
So what does that mean? Put that into plain English. So management's blaming the broader economy for the problem.
The CEO said, "Hey, our marketing seems to be doing okay. The weakness in the business is from our customers having to repay student loans. Their job rate, their growth rate of their wages is slow, and the unemployment rate is rising, and that's going to affect our customers. People will go to Taco Bell instead of Chipotle."
Let me ask you this: if you recategorize in your mind just a perception that Chipotle is like Urban Plates or Sweet Greens, it's a fast casual versus fast food like McDonald's, Taco Bell, does that make a difference for price for you? It's price acceptance for you?
Yes, you mean like it's a healthier?
No, I think it's a more restaurant-y experience versus fast foodie experience, right? Right, Howie? These guys call themselves a fast casual restaurant, don't they, Howie?
Yeah, I mean that's the category they're in. They compete with Sweet Green. They compete with Kava. They compete.
I do Kava and Chipotle. I think they're very
panini
similar.
They're
not doing the same thing as McDonald's.
But the problem is the perception is, and even in until I'm interviewing you here and talking to you guys, my perception is this was fast food.
Yes.
So no wonder it seems expensive. Now, once you put it in those perspectives of, shouldn't they change their advertising and saying we're not just fast food, we're expensive fast food?
But that's still not going to take away.
Maybe not that message.
People are still needing to pinch pennies right now. So
but you're talking about a $16 bowl, Mary. I just looked at the menu here. $16. You're right.
But then you got to add the avocado, and you add $2 more, and then you get the thing on the side, and you're walking out.
So this is why. But here's the deal. So if you were to walk into a restaurant, okay. Let's talk about what is a casual restaurant anymore? Because you don't have the Denny's and the Cocos and nobody goes there anymore.
Mendocino Farms.
There you go, Mendocino Farms.
Which I love.
Are you dropping down? You're dropping $30 for 2 people for lunch, aren't you?
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah.
But so I think in my mind, if Chipotle's looking for a reason, it's because they need to change the perception that we're not fast food, so don't expect fast food prices without actually saying that. Because look, I think you're right. If you think in terms of places you can eat that are healthy, you go to Pollo Loco and just eat salad or chicken.
Yeah.
You can go to, what's this place called that we just talked about for 10 minutes?
Chipotle.
Uh-huh.
Right?
You can go to Rubio's and get the grilled fish taco
or
and a
7
corn
of them,
tortilla.
Right?
They're all raising their prices, though.
But the point is that don't you think that the smart ad guy at Madison Avenue is going to come out and finally say something about, Look, we may be a little spendier, but we're way more like a restaurant. I should be in the business. Just
it's right off the top.
Or how just flows, doesn't it?
It's funny. One of Chipotle's big former investors, Bill Ackman, the billionaire,
Bill.
He's noisy on Twitter. He tweeted something yesterday after the announcement. It was someone's suggestion that said, how about instead of selling a $16 bowl or burrito that is the size of a newborn baby and has 1,500 calories, why don't you sell me a $7 burrito that is like 600 calories?
It is a football. Because you know what they'll do? Because shadow inflation will come in. You know how toilet paper rolls used to be this big, now they're this big with this the same price? You only get so many Funyuns, Mike, and same price? Same shadow inflation is going to come back and smack it. Thank you.
Howie Font is our big visual market analyst. He is the best. Love him. Now he made me hungry.
I'm starving.
All right. We're back after this.
I'm going to go on Instagram and order Chipotle.
Big Biz Show rolls on live from the Loft 100 studios here in Southern California. That is the Day Trader Trio, best in the business, back here at the bar. It is Costa, it is Mary Burt Godwin, and it is Sully.
Great to have you along today. 80 million TV homes across the country, 175 countries, and all the ships at sea because of American Forces Network, Bloomberg Financiero, Bloomberg EU, as well as Big Biz. No, it's actually called BizTV, but I want to call it Big Biz TV.
It is Big Biz TV when you think about it.
American Life Network. We're brought to you by Prudential. Let Prudential be your rock for retirement. Also brought to you by Bayer Advanced. Better science, better results. Starbucks coffee. I'm hopped up on some right now. I snorted some before I got to the studio.
Oh, boy.
Bloomin' Brands and their fine family of restaurants, including Fleming Steakhouse, Robin Italian Grill, and the authentic Australian food restaurant.
Best in the world.
Outback Steakhouse, where they serve bloomin' onions, which is apparently a delicacy on the side of the road on the way to Sydney. Have you had a bloomin' onion, Mary?
I have.
Mike did. It was after eating a black bean burrito. Totally different story.
Right there, the Urban Dictionary.
I love Nick Liuzza.
Oh my gosh.
Who's the CEO of Beeline Holdings. And the reason is because he became a guest about 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
On the program, and we just fell in love with the guy for a number of reasons. You'll understand if you haven't seen it before. You'll understand why. In terms of fintech and a fintech mortgage lender, but apparently had a big day yesterday.
Yeah, their ticker symbol is BLNE. He's coming off a gigantic day. Locked in 21 loans, just under $8 million.
So zooming from the beach in the Bahamas.
Oh my God!
Because he's on vacation,
counting his gold bars.
He is at the airport.
So you are traveling. Are you? So you're getting out of town on vacation because of that big day there, Nick, or what's going on, pal?
Yeah, that's correct. I've been down here at the Centurion Investor Fest, or investor conference at least. Beeline was the most requested company at the conference.
Wow.
And we're just flying back home, barely missing the hurricane, and happy to get back on that plane.
Well, good for you. So this is the same day, Howie talked about it earlier, the Fed cut for the second consecutive month, and obviously things are going in the right direction. You don't really realize just how much of a cause and effect the Fed discount window affects you guys, because really, what they're cutting, the Fed's cutting the short-term interest rate. Mortgages don't follow the short bond, they follow the long bond. But it's so interesting how a short-term interest rate that'll affect credit card, auto loans, and savings accounts eventually gets to you guys anyway. So is that one of the reasons you think that we saw such good stuff in the market?
It's a good point, right? Because yesterday's cut was not really it was already factored into the real estate market in some respects. So there wasn't a big move yesterday. It was baked into the
stock market too, as well. But still, it still is. Continue.
Yeah, it was baked into the market, and so we had a big day. 21 locks is a great day. That means that our business is going to grow about 100% if those locks continue from actually more than that, from Q3 to Q4. And so it was a big day for us. We're already debt-free, and we're already moving toward being cash flow positive in January. We just might get there in December with this rate cut. Now that we've got these tailwinds behind us.
Hey, I got to ask you, so you guys are a next-gen mortgage company, which uses AI and fintech and so on and so forth. And we talked about this last time, and for the people that haven't seen you, because obviously we're on air every single weeknight, and some of the folks have not gotten a chance. Can you give us the elevator pitch on exactly what you guys do and what makes you guys different? What's the tiebreaker here? Because it really is working.
Yeah, listen, there's 75 million millennials and there's 71 million Gen Z. That's 145 million people out there that are having an impact in the real estate market, and they already represent 40% of the market, and that's only going to continue to grow. The legacy mortgage market does not address their needs. These guys grew up with phones in their pockets when they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. They want real-time certainty in 3 or 4 minutes. They shop and engage differently. And the legacy real estate market is still a stare and compare, smile and dial industry, right? Whereas enter Beeline, we're providing certainty in 4 or 5 minutes that's 90% accurate, and we're providing a wider variety of loans than the typical mortgage lender does. So if you're a gig economy worker or you're one of these younger borrowers and you have lumpy income, forget about getting a mortgage at a bank or any of the large institutions, because they only offer Freddie Fannie. We offer Freddie Fannie, but we also offer what's called non-qualified mortgages, which in many cases don't even look at your income to qualify you for a mortgage. And so it's a lot easier to qualify for this particular mortgage if you're in the gig economy. And that is a big difference between us, because we're scaling these non-qualified mortgages in conjunction with our conventional mortgages. And so if you go to Bank of America and you can't qualify for a conventional, it's game over. Whereas our AI will direct you to a whole new suite of products if we can't qualify you for a conventional, and that's a big difference.
Nick Liuzza is the CEO of Beeline Holdings, Inc. Their ticker symbol, BLNE. Website is makeabeeline.com. Nick, it's tough to get a commercial in front of the group you're going after, whether it's TV, it's radio, print and stuff.
Yeah.
How are they finding you? How are they finding the message?
Well, that's such a good point, because we are on so many different channels, and you have to be on so many different channels to attract this audience.
Yeah.
We have hundreds of splash pages out on the web all over the place, and we're carving up content and pushing content out, marketing content through social media, through Google Ads, through NerdWallet, all these different channels that this generation likes to engage with and listen to, and that's how we get to these people.
Hey, Nick, I know you're geared towards Gen Z and millennials, but what about the rest of us, like the
old
folks here?
people?
Like me and Mike.
How do we?
Well, listen, we want anyone. I mean, it's not like we're going to say no to anyone, right? I mean, we want anyone
Money's money.
that wants. Yeah, and by the way, I'm the first generation of Gen X, so just FYI.
Yeah.
But I listen, man. We want anyone who wants a fast, digital, accurate experience, and anyone who wants to close in 14 or 15 days versus the legacy models. So if you happen to be Gen Z or or Gen X or baby boomer, don't worry, we still want you. We're just speaking to that demographic, I think, a little better than our competitors are. That's all.
Hey, Nick, I know you're short on time today, and of course we'll see you next week at some point. But I got a question in terms of no doc loans, which got us into the Great Recession back in the day. We're seeing those fog up a mirror loans again, whereby underwriters are not now underwriting for the regulators anymore. They're underwriting for their banks and trying to make money. What's the safe way to do that? And are you guys participating in some of the low doc loans?
Well, look, we're going to look at that like everyone else will when the time is right. I don't think we're going to see a 2008 crisis relating to those particular loans, because that was, there was a lot of appraisal fraud, valuation fraud, income fraud, and all of that was kind of nipped in the bud with Dodd-Frank. The rules and regulations are a lot tighter now, and I would say that the industry learned its lesson in terms of, I don't have the income, I don't have the asset. Oh, but I'll take the mortgage. Those days are over.
Yeah, right.
I think some exotic products will come out, and we're going to keep our eyes to the. We'll see which ones make the most sense for us.
Buddy, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you catching us on the airport on the way home. We'll catch you next week, and congratulations, obviously on the release yesterday, and of course, let's not forget the release on Monday, talking about the completion of your subsidy, which we'll talk about that next week. It's good stuff.
Yeah, take a look at that.
That's Nick Liuzza, CEO. Beeline Holdings, Inc., ticker symbol BLNE. Look for him in an airport near you.
He's going on vacation. No,
oh my God. All right, keep it right here. There's much more to come to the Big Biz Show. Do not go anywhere. show rolls on live from the Loft 100 studios. We are in Southern California. Hope everyone's having a great day. The Day Trader Trio is, because they're here with us. Back at the bar, it's Costa, it is Mary Bird Godwin, and of course it is Sully.
We are brought to you by Prudential. Let Prudential be your rock for retirement. Also brought to you by Bayer Advanced, better science, better results. Starbucks coffee, I'm hopped up on some right now.
The best.
And of course, Bloomin' Brands and their fine family of restaurants. Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bonefish Grill, Fleming's Restaurant, and of course, Outback Steakhouse. Mike, what do they have at Outback?
Authentic Australian food.
What is authentic? What's that? Bloomin' Onion, of course.
Bloomin' Onion.
They grow on the side of the road.
Sirloin steaks.
What is this cool contraption? This contraption reminds me of something I'd get pulled over for if I was walking into a Super Bowl game. Or if I was trying to walk through TSA.
Oh my God.
Who do we got here?
George Hammel. The company is Starstream, and he and Eric, I'm sorry, I didn't even ask what your last name
Eric
was.
Morley.
Eric Morley.
He's with
I know
Blue Sea.
Eric's, yeah.
He's the marketing guru behind all those big brands in music, as well as now Starstream.
And George and Eric have, is it safe to say you've partnered on this, or you're in cahoots in something that is, I think, if it's not already doing it, is going to revolutionise what a lot.
And maybe are you the most handsome man as a CEO in the history of the world? I mean, have you seen this, Mary? I can't even look at it.
I can't talk.
Welcome to the Big Biz Show, gents.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, first of all, what is this?
So what you're looking at right there is what we call the Starstream Backpack, and that is a live streaming capable unit that can.
So live streaming for our audience means that you are broadcasting basically live.
Yeah, exactly. Anywhere in the world too. And I like to call it, instead of live streaming, I like to call it storytelling.
Storytelling. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
you can do it on any platform, like YouTube, Instagram, all the things.
Good point. Is this terrestrial or is it online or everything?
Yeah, exactly. So you get your own profile page with your Starstream account, so you can broadcast just to that if you want it to be private or public, whatever you want, and then you can send it out wherever you need.
Here's the rub. They've been doing backpacks like this for local TV forever, but what they haven't been able to do is broadcast from the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And broadcast from space and broadcast from Baja and stuff like that. Isn't that the real tiebreaker here?
Yeah, totally. And it's not just the backpack that does that. You know, we have other situations and the mounting solutions and stuff. But the cool part about it is we can literally tell stories anywhere. We did an offshore powerboat race, first people to broadcast at 150 miles an hour in an offshore powerboat going from the Bahamas down to.
What did that sound like?
Down the Atlantic Ocean. And the same thing with Baja. In Mexico, you have nothing. You have 1,000 miles of racing, and we broadcast for 36 hours straight in a trophy truck going 140 miles an hour over the gnarliest.
Okay, you've said two things to me. 125 miles an hour, 140 miles an hour. What's with you, man?
People like going fast.
How did you start? Were you in that game first, or were you in broadcast first?
Yeah, no, I grew up as a racer. Yeah.
So hence the passion for, and you realize there was a big hole there. I remember interviewing Steve Forbes one time on the show, and he said the key to success in business is super easy: find a need and fill it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you start? You went from racer to founder.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw, just like you said, I saw the need. You know, I was a racer, and you can't create enough value for your sponsors, period.
Well, as you're a racer, though, you're racing, you're trying to, what was the tipping point? I want to know the day that you were there and I thought, I know this is what we need. I mean, because obviously that's a big day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the big day was actually even bigger of a day for me. So I got hurt really bad. I actually died. So when I came...
As racing motorcycles or racing...
Off-road cars.
Off-road cars?
Yeah. And I shattered my skull, and all this crazy stuff happened.
That'll make you think about stuff.
Yeah, and without getting too far into it, I saw the light kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when they didn't want me up there, so I stayed here, and then I saw the support mechanisms I had from the community or the industry of off-road racing, and I said, okay, I want to give back. And I didn't have a real way to give back as far as, like, let's just say a marketing or industry growth value. And then all of a sudden, Elon comes out with Starlink. And I go, no way, now, look, we can start storytelling. Mm-hmm. We can give these guys the opportunity to showcase the amazing things that they're doing in these remote locations.
Did you have a background in broadcast or background in storytelling?
No, when I got hurt, I went and got a computer science degree.
And that was it?
Yeah.
That was a start?
Yeah.
So you're like Doc Brown in Back to the Future. You smacked your head. He saw the flux capacitor.
Right.
You saw this.
Maybe we could feed the vehicle with bananas too.
How long did it, from the genesis to that right there, how long has the journey been?
I think one of the most important parts is you get driven by failure, right? The first time we tried, we had helicopters, we had, all these off-road cars, we had resources to be able to do it. We failed miserably the first time. terribly.
We have an audience that is high sophisticated investors all the way down to folks that don't even understand what the Dow is, and that's why it was the beauty of the show is we give them a peek into pull the covers back on CEOs and stuff like that. Eric, to you as a marketer, the key difference here, okay, from doing this, right? I can broadcast anywhere by doing this, right? Sure. Or can I? I can't because there's no signal, correct?
Yeah. So, like as George said, is that racing the Baja 1000. You're only about 4% of Wi-Fi coverage. After you get outside of the towns, there's no coverage at all. And so what happens is...
So you can't self-stream on FaceTime when you have no coverage.
But you have a Starlink now on the roof. You have the computer mounted, the Star box mounted in, plus the cameras. You're seeing it, and it's being pushed in. The other thing is your family's watching you wherever they're at. So...
Look at this.
So this is the box.
This is the box. This
is the stream box.
Yeah. So it comes with cameras, but this is the computer processing unit right here.
So right here, the size of one of Mike's sandwiches, or a full Thanksgiving dinner for most people.
Several Pop-Tarts piled on top of each other.
This is the size of an Apple TV box, basically, for people that kind of need to see this. And you've got you've got a couple of USB cable things in the back there, maybe.
So the cameras plug in the back, and then right here is we have the power goes in here. This is mounted in your car or whatever, or actually it's in the backpack. You press a button, you're live.
Oh my God!
Are these GoPros up here? Or what's?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now. Talk about this race ready sort of whole thing right here. What does this do for you? Is that just
that's the actual satellite, the Starlink satellite. So that's what communicates. Yeah, that's what gives you your connection to the Earth or to everybody else.
My question for you guys is, obviously when you see streaming and we see the ability for people to consume media so quickly, suddenly we have all these influencers that are trying to broadcast. Okay. Right. At the same time, I got the opportunity through my manager for the band Sullivan, Rick DeVoe, to meet Eric at a concert that they were putting on for the band Girlfriends. And as a result of that, he said, we're live streaming this across the world. I go, what do you mean?
That's so cool.
Because the guy had basically, literally had nothing in his hands.
Sure.
The guys that were I saw a backpack, I thought it was his backpack.
Yep.
Talk about the how it opens up not just race events and everything else. It opens up a whole new world in music and a number of other things.
So, do you mind if I jump in really quick?
No, please.
My passion is music. Ever since I was growing up, it was always about bands. It's always about seeing shows. It's always about promoting shows. It's always about promoting bands, connecting that. And years ago, if your band's playing, you're going to take flyers everywhere, and you're just going to be your little regional area where people are going to know about you. And maybe you might play over here, and it might, they might know about you here. But what thing was like when I was talking to Rick was like, well, how do we make the world see it? I said, it's super easy. So
Rick wanted to have the Girlfriends concert seen by not just the couple thousand people that were sitting there that day.
Right.
He wanted to bring it out to the masses.
The masses. And so I spoke to George and I said, George, what do you think of this? And without missing a beat, George says, oh, we have to do it. And that's really kind of started it off.
Well, just think about it though, Sully, is like you guys both said, see it.
Yeah.
What we're really talking about here is feeling it.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about the experience because this is allowing an audience to experience and feel motorsports, music, whatever, in a different way. Correct.
So when I just said the word feeling, I got chills.
Yeah.
Because if you've ever seen anything live or anything post-produced, we all have, right? You can watch a video on Instagram of chickens hatching, little baby chicks hatching, post-production. It doesn't feel the same as when you're watching it actually happen.
So Mike is a pretty well nationally known, recognized sideline reporter for sports and such. And I'm going to ask you this: when you watch the World Series now between Toronto and LA, and now suddenly after somebody hits a dinger, they have that camera behind home plate showing the actual speed of the ball.
All of it.
It's a whole different deal, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're talking about. Because that, by the way, is a GoPro that they're producing. I've got to say. The technology is part of this thing, but the proprietary advantage is the way you guys put it together, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the simplicity of it, right? Because anybody can do it. You were just talking about the backpacks, like you used to have them back in the day, right?
Well, when we were doing radio and we were doing local TV, when we wanted to do what's called a hit for our audiences, we do a 3-minute, the poor guy like Ali Wagner in the yogurt shop, in the morning show. There was no way to do it unless you had a big van truck that had a big satellite on there, which is cost about 250, 300 grand. And now, then they came with a backpack, which by the way cost 30 grand at the time, and you had to have a connection to do it. You could, once you got past the Mexican border, and once you got out to sea, it was a tough deal. You guys have come up with a whole new thing. When we come back from the break, what I want to do here is I want to walk you through exactly what it looks like, because it is so simple to use, and I think there's a consumer market here for this.
Well, and it's also, you mentioned about $30,000 for the backpack. This is a fraction of the cost.
So we'll talk about that also. I want to pull it up.
Okay, cool.
I want to have Mike follow me around my whole life and the reality show.
George Hammel and Eric. We're back right after this. Big Show rolls on live from the Loft 100 studios in Southern California. Hope you're having a great day. We are very special guests in studio with us right now.
Let's talk Shut Up and Kiss Me, my girlfriends. My good friend Travis Hills. Look at that. Freaking, what? I can't, bring that back up. I can't stop looking at that thing. That's so great. Travis Mills, of course. Is that Nick from Girlfriends playing drums over there, Rick? Yeah. That's the band Girlfriends, actually. I was just teasing it. Look at that, isn't that cool? And that is the live stream happening that folks saw on Saturday night from the Van Skate Park in Huntington Beach, California. And that was broadcast live.
Did you put that on their YouTube and their Instagram and all sorts of?
Yeah, we did. So we did. All the downlinks or all the feeders are just wherever they want to put it.
That's so
Some of the coolest shots are some of the background shots too. Like, it was pretty amazing to be able to see the the drone and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, it looks like drones. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
So when let's say that Sullivan does a concert, okay, and we want to live stream that concert, how does that process work? Do we buy the box? Do we hire you guys to do it? What's the model look like there?
Oh, honestly, we're figuring it out, man. Like, this is some of the first opportunities we have, and it's been cool because we've been so accepted in the industry, and it's just, I can't say enough how telling stories is so important. Like, that's the vision, right? Is to be able to give you, other bands, and other people in the music industry the opportunity to be able to share what you guys are so good at.
You know what's interesting is you could be live streaming what goes on before the show, right up into walking on the stage and the show. And I don't think anyone's ever even seen that before.
Or you guys eating dinner beforehand? And the best part is that you can have someone on your staff that has, they buy the Starstream. And what happens is they can follow you completely around.
Price point's a lot different than it was in the old days, isn't it?
I mean, what would the charge for live streaming be 5 years ago?
Well, you've been around. You have a $30,000 backpack, number one. Then you have to pay for bandwidth, number two. Right. Then you have to have the staff to do it. So you're talking about probably legitimately a $50,000 downstroke plus whatever your hourly stuff is, just to do a very small event.
Well, and the capability.
And by the way, that's whether it's 3 minutes or 20 minutes.
The capability is limited by where your cell phone coverage is.
And by the way, if you didn't have any service back then, you couldn't do it.
So let me answer your question on this. So the Starstream unit is a fraction of the fraction of the fraction of a fraction of what you said.
So you have a stream box that runs with Starlink and a system, and I think the proprietary part here is it's almost a utility and a design sort of IP that you look at. So I guess my question is what's the big vision? You guys are part tech, you're part storytelling, seriously adrenaline, your emotion, the whole thing. So what's next for you guys?
Well, I think the biggest vision is that we can allow the opportunity for anybody to be able to do it, right? So you just said $50,000. This is $5,000.
Yeah. So the point is, can you imagine? And look, we have seen influencer after influencer after influencer making six figures using their iPhones and being limited to whatever space they're in. I will tell you, QVC and Home Shopping Channel had a great idea a million years ago, and that was to sell stuff on TV using, what's the word I'm looking for? Influencers.
Yep.
Now you are seeing content creation studios whereby Pabst Blue Ribbon has a guy selling beer on there, and he's getting a chunk for every case he sells, or whatever, skin product or whatever, lava lamps or whatever. Yeah. It is now going to be a necessity whereby you couldn't do it before without a video camera. Yep. Then you couldn't do it without an iPhone. I think it's going to be the point where you couldn't do it without a
What's the battery life on the pack as far as?
So we just use 2 Milwaukee batteries. We use the bigger ones. I don't know if, and you can open up the backpack too. But there's 2 Milwaukee batteries, and they're on the other side here, Sully.
I want to see what's in here. Oh, that's a
that's
a 6-pack.
That's the back. But we can operate on 2 Milwaukee batteries for roughly 12 hours or so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are like the kind you get at Home Depot.
Yeah. It's exactly that.
Yeah, we just use the big ones, obviously. But
speaking of that, have you seen the cool leaf blowers now that just have the battery on it?
Yeah.
I've got one. I could blow dry your hair from a mile away.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really cool.
We may or may not have 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean, here's just another usage we had recently. We had Joe Parsons from Monster Energy. He does the Dakar Rally. He's been with Monster Energy for about 25 years, and so he has the Monster Energy vehicle with the lounge on top. So all the people came up after each of the stage of the rallies and did interviews, live stream from Portugal, and were able to catch it instantly.
Is there going to be an AI component here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're already developing.
What do you think what does that look like? I think it's in terms of content or is it in terms of technology?
I would rather see it for technology. I'd like to give the freedom of the content to the content manager for the person. I think it just needs to take care of the complexity of the content of the product. You know what I mean?
So you can have these GoPros, but you can also have in that.
Oh, you can have whatever.
You can have drones, or you can have how many devices?
Yeah, the input. There's 4 inputs on the back of this thing. And did Daisy chain them?
Yeah, there's 2, and there's 2 power sources with the USB. But yeah, you can have however many inputs you want. You just need the available.
So if you're a content creator. Or a television broadcast. So we want to be Big Biz Show to Go in Cabo. Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
1000%.
Count me in.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Well, you had a good point too. Other uses could be government. You were saying?
Yeah, government, municipalities, business.
One thing you and I were talking about on the phone.
Yeah.
Before we got yesterday. It made me think about the Department of Defense. One of the things this allowed you guys to do is to let you guys know where you were in Baja. Right. It wasn't just a broadcasting, it was almost like a Life 360 thing that you talked about yesterday. Now, that same thing could be happening with the Department of Defense, with our military men and women serving our countries overseas underway, right?
Right. Or here's just another thing.
Because it's below, it's you've got OTT over the top of cable and satellite.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is below radar.
Yeah.
This because it's using.
We've been talking about the video stuff a lot, but telemetry and the Starstream is a data transport company, and so
which is telemetry.
We can do telemetry off vehicles with CAN bus data. We can do telemetry from IMU data, GPS data, whatever it is. So we actually had
that computer science class really helped him out.
We had a conversation the other day at breakfast with a guy from the UK named Jerry. He goes, what if they use them in ambulances so the doctor can be medically attending to somebody before they get to the hospital?
How about this? GPS can tell you where the fire is, but it can't tell you which floor the fire is.
No, exactly.
See what I'm saying? Like, think about that.
Yeah.
You've got a fire on the 37th floor in New York City. I can tell you where the address is. I can't tell you it's 37th floor.
Right.
Current GPS, that is, right? I mean, isn't that sort of changed the face of almost everything when you get that?
Data, man.
And that's not a Starlink thing, by the way.
That's data.
That is a Starstream type thing.
Yeah.
Guys, I need an hour with you. You guys got to come back to this thing.
They're in that whole show category.
Or we live stream the show from somewhere else.
I think we need to go somewhere and live stream it.
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
the
No. I say Ensenada for tacos today.
I'm not putting you on an off-road vehicle. I want you on an airplane getting down there.
George Hammel, Eric Morley with Starstream. Yes, look for them. A lot more here on the Big Biz Show. Speaking of the Big Biz Show, that is it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining us as always. We'll see you next time.